I'm Isabel Dailey, and my partner, Kathryn Berryman, and I created the concentration card game for our final project for CSC 337. A user is required to have an account in order to use the website and play the game, so let's show this feature. As you can see, the user Ben does not yet exist in the database, so let's go ahead and create an account. Now that the user Ben has been created and the player has been added, we can go ahead and log Ben in. This then takes us to the home page where the user can see their top 3 scores on the scoreboard. When a new user is created, the scoreboard will be empty. However, it will become filled once the player plays multiple games. Speaking of which, unlike a physical game of concentration, our version of concentration has several differences. One such difference is the 2 different modes, practice and multiplayer. Before I'll describe the different modes, let's first take a look at the How to Play page so that we can learn how to play. The purpose of this page is to remind and/or describe the rules of the game to the player, which are listed in the unordered lists below. Essentially, the key to winning this game is having a good memory and paying attention. So, if you're like me and have an amazing photographic memory, then this is a fun game, and it is always satisfying being your friends and family members that don't have this ability. Now that we know how to play, let's go back to the homepage and talk about the different modes that we have. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, there are 2 modes of the game that we created. The first mode is practice mode, which allows the player to test out their skills and practice playing the game in order to improve their skills. So let's go ahead and play a round of practice. As you can see in the top left corner, the game keeps track of the player's number of moves and matches. Our deck consists of 16 cards, while a regular game is played with a full standard 52 card deck. So let's try this out. I also incorporated Bootstrap into our project to achieve the different face values and the animations for the cards. For the purpose of this video, I will speed through this gameplay. Hooray! We won in 8 matches and 19 moves. So now we can go back to the home page and try a game of multiplayer. Notice how the score we just achieved in practice mode does not appear in the scoreboard. This is intentional because we do not want the practice score to affect the scores in the scoreboard, otherwise the top score would always be 8 matches and X amount of moves that were made in the practice. So now that we're feeling good about our concentration skills, we can play a couple rounds of multiplayer. So let's pull up a separate window so we can try this out for ourselves. Alright, so I will log in with my account. Let's see if I can type. Notice how I already have stats filled in my table. Let's see if by playing multiplayer I can beat any one of my scores. So let's begin a game of multiplayer. So I will click multiplayer on Ben's account, and you will see that the cards of the deck are not displayed on his screen. You're probably wondering, is this a glitch? Why is this happening? It's actually not a glitch, and the reason for this is because this serves as the waiting room for the multiplayer mode. So the screen, regardless of player, will look like this until a second player joins. So in this case, Ben's screen will continue to look like this until another player, or me in this case, clicks multiplayer. So let's do that. The player role is assigned based on who clicked the multiplayer button first. So in our case, Ben clicked on that button first, so he's player 1 and shows up in purple, while I clicked it second, and so I'm represented in blue. So I will now play for both people, even though realistically there'd be 2 different people playing on different machines against each other. We know whose turn it is because of the little asterisk by that player's username. And when there's not a match, the cards flip back over. And when there is a match, the cards will turn the color of the corresponding player. And when I try to take a turn when it's not my turn, the card will not flip over. This is to prevent the player who didn't make a match from going again. For the purposes of this video, I will be speeding up this gameplay. And we tied. So the the score that either player gets in this round will update their scoreboard. It will either update the scoreboard if they have beaten one of their previous high scores, or if it's their first time playing, then that will be their top score. So in my case, since I did not beat one of my high scores, my scoreboard remains. And in Ben's case, since I got 4 matches in 14 moves, that is his top score. Off camera, I played a game just so I could show how the table sorts the scores. It's by number of matches, and then the off-screen game, Ben got 1 match and 8 moves. We did make one change from our initial design of our project, which was that we wanted to incorporate a computer version of the as a mode so that the player could choose to play against the computer if they wanted to. However, since getting multiplayer working with the server and all the aspects of that working took longer than we expected, we ended up cutting that out of our final product. Thank you so much for watching. That concludes our presentation of our final project. We hope you enjoyed it and we hope you enjoy playing it.